Hello, welcome to Musepen.com video tutorials. In this video tutorial, we are going to talk about the improved layers panel provided in Muse CC 2015. So with this version of Muse, you have got three new functionalities in layers panel. The first one allows you to rename the object shapes in the layers panel. Earlier this was not there in Muse. The second function that you have got is to expand all or collapse all. So if under a layer, if you have an item and it has some nested layers, so if you want to expand them all, you just need to use a specific shortcut key on your keyboard, and similarly to collapse it or to expand it. The third one is for importing of the Photoshop file. So if you are importing various layers of a Photoshop file, earlier it used to have the name of the Photoshop file. Now it has the name of the Photoshop file followed by the name of the particular layer that you have imported. So in the further part of this video, I would just show it to you visually so that you can get a better idea about that. So let's go back to Adobe Muse and let me show you the first change that has been made into layers panel. So I already have created a page where I have this navigation and also a tooltip which has 1, 2, 3 triggers and their related targets. So if you look at the layers panel now, it is not very well planned, I would say, because if you talk about this layer, if you expand it, you see that it has an enhanced layers panel, and then you have a composition, then you have 3 triggers under the composition. So although you know as you have designed the page, you know what all these things are, but like for the long-term designing perspective, if you can name these things, it's really good. So this option has been added to Muse now. So now let's say my first trigger says rename layers. So let me give it a name. So just need to double click on it. Let me show it to you again. So let's say I want to rename this trigger option. Just double click on it and rename layers, and just click outside of it and it would be renamed. The second layer says expand collapse, so let me give it the same name. Collapse. Similarly, if you want to change the name for this, let me see what is that. Okay, so let me call it Psd. Similarly, related target for it. So it becomes more helpful for me to understand what exactly this particular item does, so that I can connect with my planning. So this feature has been added to Muse layers panel and I really like it. Okay, now the second thing was expand and collapse. So if you are on Windows machine, let me just first of all show you what I mean. Earlier, what used to happen, if you want to expand this, if you want to know about this particular layer, you would expand it, and then each item you have below that, you would expand it, and if there is anything nested in that, you would expand that also. So whole expansion to look at the whole plan, you need to expand everything one by one individually. So instead of that, in Muse now you have got the option to expand and collapse with the help of a button. So if you hold on your Windows machine, if you hold the Alt key and if you click onto a layer which has nested item, let me just show you. Let me hold the key and now let me click on layer 2. See, everything has been collapsed. Now let me hold Alt and click on it again. So now you would see everything has been expanded below the layers 2 panel. Now let's say I just want to collapse items below composition only. So I'll just hold and I'll click on composition. So all the items below composition that were nested under compositions have been collapsed. However, other items are still in expanded mode. And if you want to collapse them also, just hold the Alt key and click it and it will be done. And later you want to do it with the layers, the top layer, hold Alt and click. So for Windows it's Alt, and for Mac it's Option key, and you just need to hold Option and click, and this function would work. Okay, so now let's talk about the third function where they have improved the import system for Photoshop files. So let me just go back to Muse CC 2014 and let me show you how does this work in the past. So we are back in Muse CC 2014. So let's go ahead and create a new site and let's try to import a Psd file or layers of the Psd file. So let's go to File, Place, and let's select the same Psd file. Okay, now let's go ahead and try to import layers. So let's say I want to import all these layers. Okay, so if I click on OK, it would let me import it, and once I place it, whole section would be created into the layers panel. So if we expand the layers panel, you would observe that there is a group being created, and this group has all those layers, but they all are named as the Psd file name. So Psd file was Muse CC 2015.psd. So they all are named like that. So they are also, there is no option for me to recognize which one is that. So I need to do everything manually to understand which part this particular layers covers. So this becomes really difficult. So if we go back to Muse CC 2015 and if we try to import the same file, same layers, it would really give you a changed view or changed name of the files. So that would make it really helpful to recognize your layers. So let's just go back to Muse CC 2015 and let's see how does this layers panel work now while importing your Photoshop files. Okay, so we are back in Muse CC 2015 and let me show how does it work now. So let's import a Photoshop file. So File, Place, and we have a file with a lot of layers. So I will just click onto that. Once I do that, it asks me, you want to get the composite image or you want to import the layer. So this time I want to import layer, so I will just check that. Now there are a lot of layers into my Photoshop files. So let's say I want to import 5-6 layers altogether. So yeah, so these are the layers I want to import. Now if I click OK, it would import all the layers. First of all, I would need to place it somewhere, so I have just placed it. Now let's go to layers panel and let's see what happened. So we have it as a group. If we expand it, you would see, let me expand the width so that we can see the name. So although it still has the Muse CC 2015.psd as the file name, but it is also followed by the layer name, layer 2, and if you expand it, you would find that layer. So it's not just the Muse CC 2015.psd for all the layers. Now every layer has its own identification, and if you wish, you can rename it as well. Same applies here. Okay, so this is how you can manage your layers in Photoshop files also. So it is a big improvement. So this is all we have about improved layers panel in Adobe Muse CC 2015. In case you have any doubt or you think if we have missed anything, do let us know, and we'll try to add it to our future tutorials. So thank you for watching video. Have a nice day ahead. Bye bye.